Today I want to talk about something that I hope is a helpful tool for you in your recovery journey. What happens for many children in complex trauma is their parents didn't communicate to them messages. They didn't say to them things that they needed to hear in their dependent state, in their vulnerable state, in times when they were struggling, in times when their needs weren't met, in times when they were afraid. Those were the times that their parents needed to come in with assurances, to say things to them, and then meet the needs and give them tools so that the child could have got through those times and not been wounded by them. And so sadly, in many people with complex trauma, there was a lack of that. Their parents did not say to them the things that they needed to hear at those very vulnerable times. And so part of your recovery is reparenting. It's learning to say to yourself, to that wounded inner child inside of you that's still there, the parts of you that you hated, rejected, abandoned, that you now need to learn to love and nurture and take care of. It's learning to say to yourself the things that you needed to hear as a child and you still need to hear today. So what happens for, I think, many people is as they go into their recovery, they begin to realize that there's still somewhere inside of me, almost like a child, a little me, a wounded part of me. And so it can go under internal family systems, it can go under inner child, but there's just this part of me that is still there. It's a part of my brain that is stuck. It's a part of my brain that is stuck. It's a part of my brain that is still operating from the perspective of that child and has the nervous system of that child. And so they need to be able to help that part heal. Now, I need to say that for many, when they hear me say this today, and it's talking about you need to be reparenting yourself and saying these things to the little you, they're going to go, oh, that sounds a little woo-hoo. That makes me feel kind of awkward. It just feels weird talking to myself that way. But what most find is that as they do it, as they visualize identifying with that wounded inner child inside of them, that part of them that is hurting, they begin to find this is very helpful. There's healing that begins to be involved. And then when they're struggling in their adult life, that they can say these things to themselves and give themselves the assurances that they still need today. It's a very helpful thing for them in their journey. So I want to break the messages for little you and that you still need today kind of into 7 categories. So the first is around safety. So to be able to say to yourself today and to that little child when it gets anxious or the anxious parts of you that you're safe with me. I am not going to hurt you. I am going to let you connect. I'm going to let you be authentic. I am going to do all I can to provide emotional protection and physical safety for us. Another message is nothing you tell me will cause me to stop loving you. So my love for you is unconditional. So you can be open and honest, and my love for you will be constant. Another thing that you can say to yourself and to that wounded part of you is, you don't have to face this alone. How many times did a child wish they heard that a parent came beside them and just said, you don't have to face this alone. I'm here with you. We'll get through this together. You need to be able to still say that to yourself. And I think for many people, when they begin inner child work, they realize that there's a part of them that they abandoned. So it's called the exile. The part of me I hated, the part of me I wanted to distance myself from. So we abandon part of ourselves. And so now when we're trying to bring healing and kind of reconnect with all of us. We come into contact with that exile, and that exile is afraid of us. That exile is going, are you going to abandon me again? Do you still hate me? And they don't trust us. And so it's gradually helping them to realize and saying to them, I will not abandon you. I am here now. I am sorry that was my only way of trying to survive as a child, was to abandon you, but I will not do that now. And then to be able to say to the child, you deserve to be protected. You are valuable. You deserve to be protected. So that's the first category. The second category is around shame. And so what comes out of complex trauma is these shame beliefs, this shame message that we carry in our subconscious, deep in the core of our being. And so we need to hear messages on a regular basis that help us begin to separate the lies that we're believing and begin to believe the truth. And that helps heal some of the shame. And so one of the messages we need to be able to say to that little version of us is, what happened to you was not your fault. It wasn't because you weren't lovable. It wasn't because you weren't good enough. It wasn't your fault. You did not deserve what happened to you. You are not bad. You are a good kid who was in a very difficult situation, but it wasn't you. And then to be able to say to them, you don't need to earn my love. You don't need to fawn. You don't need to please me in some way before I will love you. My love for you is here, whether you act or not. You don't have to hustle for my love. You've always been worthy just as you are. And then you are not too much. You are not a burden. You are not an inconvenience. You are wonderful the way you are. You are enough. So those are important messages. And then connected to that is validating their worth, their value. So you matter. And with that message is, I am taking time regularly to connect with you, to connect with myself, to treat myself with respect because I matter. One of the things that a child loves to hear, needs to hear is, I am really glad you exist. I am really glad you are in my life. You are so important to me. You are lovable exactly as you are. And then I think another one, because a child begins to get teased about different idiosyncrasies, or they're sensitive or something about them. And so it's to be able to say something like, your sensitivity has never made you less than or a nuisance or too much. Your sensitivity is actually a strength to be celebrated. You're going to find so much good that can come out of that. So those are some of the messages around value. And then a child desperately needs to have their emotions validated. And it sadly doesn't happen often in complex trauma families. Their emotions get criticized, shut down. Nobody responds to them. And so you need to be able to, when emotions come up, you need to be able to validate them now, both to your adult self and to the wounded parts of yourself. And so it's to say, your feelings actually make a lot of sense. You're feeling anxiety, I can see why. You're feeling anger, I can see why. It makes sense. So it's not like it's bad, get rid of, you shouldn't have that feeling. No, your feelings make sense. And then to be able to say, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be scared. Those are actually good emotions that are telling us what's going on in our world. So it's okay to have those emotions. And then to be able to say, I know you're feeling something. Please tell me more about it because I want to understand it. what they got growing up is, you're feeling something that's making me uncomfortable, so we're going to shut this down because I don't like feeling uncomfortable. Nobody explored it with curiosity and compassion. That's what we want to do now when we're looking at emotions, is explore it with curiosity and compassion. And then to be able to say to a child, you have strong feelings right now. Your feelings are not too much for me. Wow, does a child need to hear that? They didn't know how to regulate their emotions. Their parents said your emotions are too much, so they just had to try to stuff. They just had to punish themselves for them. And then a child needs to be able to hear, it's okay to struggle. Everyone struggles. Everyone needs help sometime. The fact that you're struggling does not mean you're failing. That is so important. And then it's okay to rest. Yes, I want you to learn to work hard, but I want you to learn that it's okay to just stop for a while and to relax and to take care of you. Then every child needs messages that assure them of support and guidance. So I'm here for you. You can make mistakes, but hey, I'm still loving you. That doesn't mean you're going to get rejected. That doesn't mean I'm going to punish you. Or we're in a difficult situation here. We're going to figure this out together because I'm here with you. And then you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to set the bar at perfection. And if you don't hit it, then I think less of you. It takes time to learn skills. So you don't have to do it perfectly the first time or the second time. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to fail. If we fail, what can we learn from it? A child needs that. An adult needs those messages. So again, it's learning to parent yourself, to say to yourself the things that you need. And then a child has this massive need for connection, for belonging, to fit in. And so they need to hear, you belong here as you authentically are. I am proud to be your parent. I am proud that you are in my life. I love your unique personality. I love being with you. And then I'm glad you shared that with me. I'm glad you told me that stuff. I'm glad you let me see that part of your life. That is such an important thing for a child who isn't sure that they fit in and have insecurities about certain things with themselves. And then the final one is, a child needs to be given words that say it's okay to protect themselves. It's okay to meet their needs. It's okay to set boundaries. And so a child needs to hear, hey, your needs matter. Let's take care of your needs. Or, hey, you're allowed to have boundaries with people who are unsafe, people who are pushy. That's okay. I will support you. Or your opinion matters. I want to hear what you say. Your voice matters. Or, hey, you're allowed to be yourself. You don't need to conform to becoming what others want you to be just to fit in. You can be yourself. And so all of those are such important, powerful messages. And if you're in your recovery journey and you're kind of looking for a practical tool that will just help you continue to grow in reparenting yourself, giving yourself the things that you never got as a child, but you should have got. I hope this helps you. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much.